Culture, creativity and heritage in the humanities is all about appreciating the breathtaking range of human invention, not just in a single point in time, but across a range of places and spaces.
Music psychology is the study of the human experience of music. We study things like how people respond to, perceive and create music.
Transformation is intrinsic to the humanities because it's about what it is to be well, to live well and to do well.
We are much clearer on the role of the sciences, but the humanities scrutinize culture, and culture is really to a large extent how we live every day, how we approach other people, how we create recognition, community, states, political systems, etc. So they are quintessential to the way we engage with our environment.
Social justice is hearing the voices of underrepresented peoples. So in particular I've been working in trying to think through the voice of GRT, Gypsy, Roma, Traveller communities and people. What I'm really interested in is how marginalised communities can access the public, how we can hear their voice and how we can hear those stories.
I work on critical neurodiversity studies, which is an emergent field within the wider medical humanities that's also connected to disability studies. Critical neurodiversity studies uses approaches from the arts and humanities to think about neurodiversity. In this way, it's both an intellectual and a methodological endeavour. So we use the sort of intellectual questions that you might be familiar with in arts and humanities to think about neurodiversity, but we also think about how we do research, how that research might become accessible, and in that way kind of transform how we think about and disseminate research.
The digital humanities are a bridge between the two cultures, science and the humanities. In the scientific image, we're biological beings bound by causal laws, and in the manifest image, we experience the world as mediated through culture and the meaning-making practices of our society. In the digital humanities, we combine methodologies of both of these areas to present a more rounded image of what it is to be a human being.
Heritage 360 is a strategic research initiative from Durham University, exploring the boundaries between cultural and natural heritage. Heritage 360 is designed as a platform to bring together as many disciplinary perspectives as possible and to overlay that with sector challenges. It works through a series of interconnected themes: landscape, food and water security, social justice and climate change, energy and the built environment, and collections, democratizing collections, thinking about conservation and preservation, and the role of heritage science in enhancing the experience of the historical artefact.
The study of the humanities and the arts, in particular, in my case music, can be really transformative in understanding the breadth and depth of human experience, which gives us broader insights into how people think, create and feel.
The great strength of the humanities is that it allows for plurality, that it allows for different methodologies, different angles. And this is where the great transformative power lies, in revisiting contemporary problems through the lens of different cultures, different ages, different questions. So I do think that they play an eminent role in understanding everything about being human.
No, I think that particularly relates to the environmental humanities because it's so important. The sciences tell us one thing about how to respond to the environmental crisis, and the social sciences can tell us other things, politics, economics and so on. But what it doesn't tell us about is how we're to be fully human in an age of environmental crisis. And I think the humanities really are the key to that.
The world is being transformed by the automation of decision-making processes by big tech companies like Google and Meta. The humanities give us the tools to critique and understand the way these changes create new forms of political power and economic exploitation.
The humanities allows us to think about things from all angles, and in this way we can work towards a more inclusive and accessible academy.
Humanities has the potential to really transform policy making and hopefully to transform better the lives of people.
The humanities are transformative because when we understand how creative people have been and how creative they are, we begin to see our own untapped potential for creativity.
Working in the humanities is always transformative for ourselves, for our students, for our colleagues and for the communities that we talk to. Humanities articulates arguments. It comes to judgments about circumstances, it balances evidence, but it articulates this in a clear and concise way. Humanities in this way helps us navigate the certainties and the uncertainties of the future.